welcome to the Reflection Show with me, Martha and Spice. We want to have a conversation about how we can all manage our finances. The world, or let me say Ghana, is becoming a bit complicated. That a lot of us, despite how much we earn, it becomes a bit difficult for us to manage our finances. Today, we'll be looking at how we can all be stable or even manage the little that we earn. We know it's not much, but how can we cut off the excesses or the unnecessary things of and only focus on our needs? Let's go for a break. We'll be back to have a great conversation.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle, and many more.
Welcome back from the break. I have been joined here by Dr. Rita Suhini Salifu. She's a personal finance coach. I don't. Before I said doctor, I almost said reverend. I don't know. I don't know whether my eyes are open and I'm seeing beyond the physical.
We beg.
And I'm about to give a prophecy.
Hey.
So. Reverend Doctor.
Hey.
Nice. So I want to look at how we can manage our finances. Thank you for joining me. Our last episode was great when we spoke about love and money. And then personally I learned a lot on how we can manage our finances before we say I do. Because that has always been one of the biggest issues or biggest fights in marriage. I think even recently there was a story on social media about a guy who spends 120,000 cedis on a marriage, and later on the marriage is not like, who? Like, what is just wedding? 120,000. But now I want us to look at Ghana, or issues are coming up, our salaries are not being increased, and our needs, our wants, our even like things are just happening that is affecting our finances. Today, I want to have a conversation with you. Teach us how we can manage our 500 cedi salary, our 1,000 cedi salary, or 2,000 cedi salary with a husband, a wife, and 3 kids. How do we manage our finances?
Thank you, Martha. So the thing about finances is that you need to be intentional about it. You need to decide how you want to live. You don't leave the fate of your finances in the government's hands, in your employer's hands, in your uncle's hands, or anybody else. So for starters, you need to figure out what goals you have for yourself financially. You shouldn't just be there and saying, hey, my take home doesn't take me home. So we are there, we are managing. You know, we use all these terms, but it points to a certain mindset that we have. So first of all, you should set financial goals. We've passed the first quarter of the year. The year is moving on. What do you want to achieve this year? That would influence how you spend your money. Then the interesting one is that most of us spend money we don't have.
Okay.
And we think that, oh, whenever we need money, we'll find it. And so it doesn't matter if we don't plan. And so we are scared of this thing called budget. We think that budget is restrictive. We think it is hard. It is too complicated. But the truth of the matter is that budget is simply telling your money where to go.
Okay.
If you want to take control of your money, you make a budget. And it's basically looking at, you earn this amount of money. what are your expenses? So if you're earning 500 and your expenses are 800, you have to now look, are you going to get money from somewhere, or you're going to cut something out? And that guides you. So if you want to go back to school, if you have a goal to go back to school, if you have a goal to buy a land, etc., it is from this budget you can say, okay, then I won't eat out as many times. I won't buy as many clothes, because I need to save this amount of money so that in 8 months' time or in a year's time you have. So first of all, set your goals. The next one is have a budget. Then the budget helps you to achieve the goal. Now, because you have a goal and a vision for it, when you are, in quotes, squeezing yourself, you know there's an end. We call it delayed gratification. You know that there's an end. You know that you envision yourself graduating from school. You envision yourself getting your land papers. So when you're not buying the tilapia, and when you are not buying every cloth that comes, the pizzas, the KFCs, you know that, okay, even though I'm not doing this, I can see that I'm going to achieve that, and that motivates you. Other challenge we have is comparison. So we tend to look at people's lifestyle and use that to force ourselves to live a certain lifestyle without knowing their source of income, without knowing what is influencing what they have, without knowing where they are getting something from. So we're affected a lot by social media. So we see people wearing clothes, designer clothes, and we decide that no, we must also wear that when we know we cannot afford it. So you need to look at your lifestyle and where you are going. And once you don't know how that person's life is going, for all you know, there's someone who sends the person free clothes and she's wearing it, and then you begin to set yourself. Or for all you know, they've taken a loan and they are paying for it through their nose. They are up at night wondering what is going to happen. With your little, you are sleeping soundly at night. So you need to check how this goes on. So you can start off this way. When you have the goal, have a picture. We have something we call a vision board. So have a picture of what you want to achieve. Constantly look at it. If it's a vacation, if it's a house, if it's school, and keep motivating yourself and keep working at it. The trick about money is that it is never enough. When you get your first job and they give you your salary, hey, you are excited. You come back that you are earning 3,000 Ghana cedi. They should look, your life is changing. Within 6 months, and this money is not enough.
It's like when you
I
first
don't even know.
receive your NSS allowance, you feel like a billionaire.
Exactly. So within a short time, your expenditure expands. And you start to behave like, oh, no, this money is not enough. They are not paying us enough, all the work we are doing and all that. But you signed, I accept this, and you were happy about
thought
it.
It was big money.
Big money. So what happened? Your appetite expanded without checking this. So you need to really watch. I really encourage about the budget. It is not that complicated. It's not a whole Excel sheet you have to do. Just paper and pen. And as you note what you spend your money on, you may find out that you're really spending it on things you shouldn't, you know. And so you watch and you say, oh, no. Then the last one I'll talk about, and you can ask more questions, is managing our homes. Okay, so if you are not getting in more money, you need to manage what you have. And so we have small expenses that we can cut down. And we have those that you can't. You can't cut down fuel prices when it's set, it's set.
And you still have to travel.
You still have to travel. You will pay. I mean, you complain, you pay the transport fare, and school fees, etc. But you can manage power. You can turn off the lights whenever you leave your room. You can turn off the fan. 3 TVs don't have to be on at the same time in your house.
You can open your windows and off the AC.
You know, get some fresh air. So you can manage that and your consumption there. You can also manage, one of the major things is food. So we know prices of foods have gone up. So you want to look at how you can check that. Almost every week the price changes. So can you buy in bulk? And bulk is not like the whole month. You can buy 2 weeks. Something that will take you for 2 weeks, because within that period, the price would have probably doubled or tripled. The times you go to the market, your time, the cost, all that. So that's one way when it comes to even what you eat that you can check. And then you go shopping with a list. If you just go to the market and want to be inspired, oh, one trick, never go shopping when you're hungry. Anyway, yes, because everything looks attractive. You should eat well before you go to the market. But if you don't go with a list, you buy this, you buy that, you think you need this, you're not sure whether you have this at home. You can get home and find out that you didn't buy certain things. Then you go to the neighborhood shop and buy it for 3 times the price. So you make a list. What informs this list? What do you normally eat at home? You know, when people have meal plans, they say, oh, it's boring. But generally, if you look, you're either eating rice, you're eating banku, you're eating TZ, you are eating. So there's usually
I think our food is just the same thing.
There's usually a number of foods you eat regularly. So why don't you stock up on that and then see how you can manage that? You have that in stock, you have the base, and then you can do the other things. So they're just small tricks that you can use even with little income that you can manage as you consider whether you should get another job, you should start another business, and other ways you can get more income.
So now with the income, you mentioned even with the, I think at a point I reduced the number of times I go out or or places that I had to go. So if you ask to meet me, sometimes I'll say you should rather come so that I don't have to burn my fuel, or probably let's meet each other halfway, or let's have a WhatsApp video call, or let's have a phone call.
Exactly.
We should say that, oh, not everything can be discussed online. No, sometimes just get a very conducive environment. Assume you are sitting with a person face to face and have certain conversations. Or times when I'm just going out to town, I know I'm going to do a lot of meetings at once. So if you want to meet me, I can be at a particular place. You can have all my meetings and I now come back. Now, there's some things like accommodation. You can't take it out. Our landlords, let me say this quietly, my landlord will come and catch me. Our landlords are increasing our rents frequently. Maybe for the past 2-3 years, your salary hasn't changed, and probably your rent has expired. Your landlord has increased, and you now have to go and pay more. That can affect your budget. How do you deal with that? And now they don't take 1 year. They take 2 years. So the rent control is not really doing anything, like I can say. I remember there was this funny story that came up in the news that rent control people were sacked from their office because they haven't paid rent. And Ghanaians were teasing them that so you take your issues to them because they can't even do anything. So now rent is something that it keeps going on. I saw a video on TikTok about, I don't know if it was Accra or Kumasi, a single room apartment for 500 cedis a month. In Tamale it's a bit better. You can get 2-bedroom apartment for 500 cedis. But a place like that, and practically you are earning say 1,000 cedis. So it means that if you want to calculate, for you to sleep, you are putting like 50% off. And if you want to say 2 of you should rent, the room is not enough for 2 people to stay in. How can we manage in that regard? Or you have to stay in your hometown where your father has a house and work?
Yes, it's a difficult one. And I think now we are forced to start thinking earlier. First, you probably will work where you grew up. So like you're saying, you could stay with your parents, but now if you are posted somewhere, you have to pay the rent. If you don't know anybody there, there's no family friend, nobody, you have to do that. So we have to look at the type of accommodation. Sometimes we feel we deserve a certain kind of accommodation. Where we are rich, we should have this kind of accommodation. But our pocket cannot handle that. So can we have a plan? So yes, you want a 2-bedroom, but you are single, you're doing service, or you've just started working. Can you manage with a single bedroom self-contained? Keep it very nice. And whilst you are there, plan. Because if you go get the 2-bedroom one, you are either going to take a loan or borrow, and it's a vicious cycle. Okay. The other thing too is that as soon as we pay the rent, we forget that 2 years is not very far. So we pay the rent, we go to sleep. But if you look at it, the rent was a monthly thing. So you put in there in your savings some amount towards rent,
Yeah.
because it will come up. It's inevitable. It will come up. And maybe you should start thinking about getting land. I always say that now nowhere is far. In the past, if they said this area was far, within a few years there's development.
Yeah.
If you can't even build, you can resell.
Yeah.
You don't have to even buy a full plot of land. So you have to be intentional about accommodation. It's not going down. I'm sorry to say. I haven't seen accommodation price go down
It's
at
never
any
going
time.
down, yeah.
So you have to look at that. And then diligently look at multiple sources of income. If the money won't do, you are either going to increase your value on the job market. So either you're going to go back to school, you're going to learn another skill and make yourself versatile to your employer so you get more money. You start a private something by the side, a hustle. There's so much now available with technology. So you do need to have an income coming in. And then those are essentials: accommodation, your fees, school, utilities. So that should be first that you address before you do all these other things. So you need to plan towards it. It's a difficult one, but you can't run away from it. Shelter is important. So you need to plan very early, much earlier than our parents were doing.
Now let's look at getting married. People want to, when we're looking at love and money, I think we didn't delve much into that aspect. Do you think that the kind of weddings that we want to have are a reason why after we get married we don't have money? Because sometimes you even go on Facebook, you hear people say they are even divorced and they are still paying for the loan. Some are saying they spent thousands. Someone even said that a cake was just, their cake alone was 13,000. And I'm like, that's like someone's whole wedding's budget. Do you think that the kind of weddings that we want to have are a reasons why a lot of couples start up broke, and it ends up to transition? Because if you want to pay for it, you will pay for the loan for like 2 or 3 years, which means you can't do anything good like for yourself or your spouse. By the time you are putting yourself back on feet, things have increased. So it's like you are not able to so what can we do in some of these weddings to cut off excesses? Because that is one of the things that we are so much obsessed about as young people, that is taking our monies.
Okay, so that's very true. It starts off with, why do you want that?
Okay.
What are you trying to
My
prove?
friend is doing it. So
What are you trying to show?
I want to wear the wedding gown.
And that is there.
with a
You want to
diamond
trend.
ring. I want to trend.
You want to trend.
Yeah.
And so,
Go and rent a Prado or a V8 for me to sit in.
exactly, for those few hours. And that is influencing many of us. And we are preparing for weddings, but not for marriage.
Okay.
And we need to check that. The wedding, within 1 hour, you said the vows, I do, you are Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
Now the marriage starts proper, as we say it. So we need to change that mindset. Are you preparing for marriage or for the wedding? I tell you, the people sitting at the reception, eating your food, are even gossiping about
That's
you as
true.
they are eating it, discussing your gown. You can't please everybody. But the beauty of what I've seen is that when you make your wedding simple, people appreciate and support that. As much as you want to have the fleet of cars, you want your gown to be this one, as soon as that passes, there's another one. There was a trend in Ghana here. There was this wedding. They were saying it was what of the year. Oh, we know another man. There was another one.
Yeah.
What of the year? We had forgotten about
Everybody
this.
wants to update.
Yes. So you need to really look. The future you want to have, is this really what you want to put all your money in? Have so many guys spend all this much, and then you are there dodging phone calls. You are there, you can't eat. You are irritated. He comes home from work because of the pressure of the people who are calling. You are watching TV. You are always watching TV. Switch off the TV and the light is on and this is this and you're shouting. The food doesn't taste
I
this.
remember there was this couple
you
that
know?
they were put on social media that they owe vendors. They paid half and said after the wedding, now they are calling them, they are not answering. So they put the couple picture
Yeah.
on social media.
that's not a good way to start your marriage, you see. But when you look at it, it comes back to the lifestyle you were living as a single person and what your mindset towards finances and wealth is. And so that's why the episode we did, you should ask those questions very early. Because if you are marrying someone and this is the aim, it goes into the marriage. So one of the things you will struggle in marriage is lifestyle. So if we get married and I think that I should wear only designer clothes, and you are okay with bend down boutique, and we have a certain amount of money to spend, already we are going to start clashing. So working on yourself financially when you are single, you also benefit when you get married. So we should remember that putting up for people does not build the wealth we want to have. It is better that you cut down. We call it the iceberg theory. What is under should be more than what is on top. Let people always wonder what you have. Not that you push up, get loans, borrow, and you're always sending out. There's this trend of always sending, I'm so broke, if you don't send money, I won't eat today, to like 400 people because you are so tight. Why would you put yourself in that situation when you could have prevented it? So big weddings, if you can't afford it, it's not worth it. Prepare for the marriage and not for the wedding.
Prepare for the marriage and not for the wedding. Do you think that peer pressure, I think you've answered it partially, but straightforwardly, do you think that peer pressure is one reason why people don't plan well for their weddings, like forcing themselves to do certain things? There's this video I saw again on TikTok where a girl came to do a video and she said people were calling her mom and teasing her that she didn't wear kente on her traditional wedding day. So I went back to her videos to go and see, and she was wearing a very nice white dress, very nice, decent. Her breast wasn't showing. Unlike people who go and do corset and they cannot breathe. But she was very decent. And why she didn't wear kente with those beadings and stuff? Why? Do you think peer pressure?
Oh yes, we have peer pressure at all levels. In fact, we used to think peer pressure was only when you're in the secondary school and they'll make you smoke or drink or, you know, run away. But all through life, you have peer pressure. So the earlier you build the mental fortitude to handle, the better. When you finish school, there's peer pressure. What are you going to do? When are you marrying? When you marry, when are you going to have children? When you have a girl, when are you going to have a boy? When you have a boy, oh, two, it's only two, add some more. Which schools do your children go to? Your children grow up, oh, when are your children marrying? Hey, has your daughter given birth? So all through your life, you are going to face that. So very early in life, you have to decide that this is my life. We should remember that your life is not a rehearsal. What you are living, that is it. And no one accounts for that but you. Nobody is going to agree to everything you want to do. So if you want to do something to please everybody, you'll be amazed. That dress that some found nice, someone will criticize it. And now with social media, people just hide and say all kinds of things. So you should be that secure in yourself that this is how I want to live my life. I have this goal, I want to do this. And so this is what I want to do. This is a unique way I want to live. So for peer pressure, you must deal with it. You must look at whether you have people-pleasing tendencies. Some of us have that more than others. Some people naturally don't care. But some want to make everybody happy. So you are going to have aunties when you are going to get married come and say, hey, you embarrass the family if you wear this, so you must do this. So I have my office people coming, you have to serve this, so you have all this. And they are not bringing money, you know. So you must be prepared that in your life, you have to be clear, have clarity on what you want to do, and then stick to your guns because you live life just once.
You live life just once. Let's take a break.
My name is Sule Barika. I'm from Yawoko community. We came here for the Lead Decide program in collaboration with the Plan Ghana. As we came here, we learned a lot. We learned about self-determination.
My name is Mahmoud Dorita. I come from Guabelga. I came here for the Lead Decide program. And when I came here, I learned a lot of things. Things like I learned how to determine myself, know my weakness and strength. And I really appreciate and say thank you to Mata Inspire Foundation.
My name is Faisal Faiza. I'm from Banu community. We came here to learn about self-determination and self-weakness.
And due to that, we learn about our strengths and weakness points, what we know, what we like, and what we dislikes, in order to help other people. So thank you, Martha Inspires Foundation.
Welcome back from the break. And now, after getting married and all of that, now let's come to students. How can students manage their finances? Most of them are not do any other business. It's just the parents who give them money. One, how can they manage that? Secondly, those who do other business, especially those who want to go into entrepreneurship and wants to use their chop money. What should they know? What should they like? How can they manage their finances?
Okay, so as interesting as it is, students tend to get quite a bit of money. When you
Not
are
all
working,
students.
when you are working, nobody minds you. But when you're a student, even though it's not consistent, sometimes you miss out. Oh, collect this. Oh, collect this. But because we feel we're not getting a monthly income, we just spend it anyhow. But that is the best stage to start. So we have this principle, 10-10-80 principle, which you can start to manage no matter how much money you have, even if it's 100 cedis. So any money that comes to you, you should just use it. 10% is your tithe or charity, 10% for saving, and you spend 80%. So you have gone to school, they've given you monies, they've given you provisions, whatever, you are using that, any kind of money. And when you start, it's the habit that you are building. So it may seem like you have 100 cedis, so it's 10 cedis, it's a little. But if you are able to discipline yourself to do that, when you get 1,000 cedis, you can do that. When you get 2,000. And then you need to begin to very early look at how you are spending your money. You cannot go to school with someone with the same amount of things.
Money, yeah.
And by the second week, everything is finished. Are you the one who gives everything out, you know, with no care as what is there? You say, oh, tomorrow will take care of itself. So begin to look at how you are managing your provisions, you are managing your money, you are managing your things in school. It's so critical because when you come out to the real world, you will spend more. More will be expected of you. Now, school is also the best place to identify your talents. So get involved in clubs. Get involved in volunteering. We are so focused on, I need to be paid for everything. But if you see a place, that is the free training you can get. So Matter and Spice is doing something. Volunteer to be an usher, volunteer to carry something. Then you find out that, oh, I like this. I've learned this. During your break, organizations are there. Don't always be looking for what will you pay me? Because in effect, it's building you for the future. By virtue of going to work somewhere, you learn that, oh, I'm good at bookkeeping or administrative things, or I've learned how to use a camera, or I've learned, you know. So be focused very early on doing that and getting it for free. The training comes for free. Leadership skills are built for free in school. All these associations, I was in so many groups.
Yeah.
And out of it, you learn organizational skills. So now you are planning events. You learn how to people manage, you know, and then you network. Because in the world out there now, it's based on recommendation. Or someone will say, oh, there's a hardworking person here, let him do this. By the time you do the work well, they say, oh, collect this. The next time there's an official job where you finish school, they said, oh, I worked with this lady or this gentleman. I think you'll be good at this. So you start to build your future whilst in school. So start, yes, managing your finances, the very basic one, 10-10-80, the other principles, but I encourage this one, and use it as a basis, but also develop your talents and skills within this season. And before you see, when you come out, you'll be able to earn more.
Some people would always argue that it's not that they don't want to save, but the money is not enough. The money is not enough. How can they still save when the money is not enough? Because you are saving to put the money there, you are hungry. Should you go and remove it and come and eat, or because they say you should save, you should automatically save?
So you realize that you need to look at where your money is going. The money, is it going to the key things or you are spending other things? You find out that a lot of us use a lot of money on data and just scroll the whole day. We used to stay on, the phone is not
TikTok,
bringing us
Facebook,
anything.
everywhere.
But we think that we constantly need to be that. Even concerning data, you can shop around for better packages. That's how to be smart with your money. Every network is giving different things. So pay attention, choose the one that serves you well. So you can still be smart in what you need. But some of the things you spend money on, cooking, especially if you're in university, versus buying food always. Must you buy a bottle of drink with every meal you sit down with? How helpful is that? And then you complain you don't have money. Must you use the most expensive phone? You are a student. Your phone is more expensive than the worker who loaned you the money to buy the phone. So your priorities, what is your focus
Or even the
on?
kind of clothes that we'd wear.
Yeah.
Because it's like there are times that it's like as young girls, we want the latest dress, the latest handbag. I was telling a friend that I'm not, for shoes, I love shoes. I love heels. I wear heels a lot. But when it comes to handbag, unless that bag is getting torn, because I feel it's stressful to have to change bags all the time.
Yeah.
So if
Remove
I'm
the
going
things.
out,
Yeah.
if I'm going out for this, because you end up forgetting either your ID card or
Yeah.
something in the other bag,
Yes,
and I don't have time for that.
Yes.
So most times, if I have to even change a bag, these days like I have one bag for church. So if I know I'm going to church, every Sunday the basic things are already there. I just take my bag and I'm going. If it's work or it's for a meeting, and I like black bags because it goes with every kind of dressing.
Okay.
But there are some ladies who will say they have a bag for dinner, they have bag for lectures.
Yes.
When they come from lecture, they are going to swim with their colleagues, they have another bag.
Yeah.
Like they have a handbag for everything.
Yes.
And the hair. A student can buy a hair of 1,500, a hair of 2,000. The highest hair I've ever bought is 400 cedis. And that one crowd was because I don't cry as a peer pressure because I saw it on a friend's this and she was like, you need to get this hair.
Okay.
And sometimes people just want to copy others. So maybe at 400 cedis I can afford it because I like braids more than wanting to wear wigs and stuff. But I have wigs because when I'm broke and I don't have money, I can have my cornrow and wear those wigs for the next 1 month or 2 months. Then I have money to do my hair. That's why I have wigs.
Yeah.
But students want to change their hair every
Yeah.
2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they want to change their hair. How can let's talk about the ladies. How can we cut? Let's talk to us
Yeah.
on our dressings. How can, as a lady, cut down certain things and still look good?
Okay.
Some people want to buy pomade of 300 cedis. They cash through that.
So clothes is a big one. And what people don't know is that you only wear 20% of your clothes. We call it the Pareto principle. So
Really?
watch yourself.
That's true.
You can have all these clothes in your wardrobe, but there are only certain clothes you will repeat and repeat. Only certain shoes you will keep
That's
repeating.
true.
But anytime as ladies we stand in front of a closet, we say, oh, I don't even have anything to wear. You just open, I don't have anything to wear. And there are suitcases of clothes. I don't have anything to
The wardrobe
wear.
is full. You want to even
And then you go through and realize there's this top you bought, you haven't worn it.
Oh
There's
my
this
goodness.
skirt
Talk
you
to
bought,
me.
you haven't worn
prophesy.
it.
Oh
And
my
so
goodness.
you keep buying. We have a problem where we say we're buying for the future. You say, oh, this top, you think you'll get a certain skirt to wear it with. You haven't found the skirt yet. Then you buy the top and go and put it down. You haven't yet gotten the skirt. So then when you get the skirt, it's a different thing that comes up. So first of all, use the clothes you have and be creative.
Yes.
So the same outfit, if you put a certain necklace on it, it makes it a certain way.
Yeah.
If you wear it with jeans, it makes it another way. If how you even put up your hair and your makeup can make you look more official with the same thing. So don't be so driven by getting new clothes. People buy new clothes and they still don't look good in them. They are new, they don't know how to put it together. Learn how to combine clothes. Get clothes that suit you.
And colors.
Colors
there are
that
times
suit
that
you. Exactly.
I can wear one trouser with about 3 different
Tops.
tops.
Exactly.
And you think that it's a different thing.
Exactly.
I can wear one top with like 3 different downs. Or even I can just wear a straight dress. And depending on the blazer I wear on
Exactly.
it. So I have several, I love blazers. So depending on the colors, and I think it's a good thing.
Yes.
You
So
don't have
be
to have a
creative.
lot of
Be creative.
clothes.
And then when you wear it and someone says, "Hey, you're looking nice," don't say, "Oh, this old thing," and I was.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, this one, dear. No. Take
I
all
bought
the
a
praise.
suit for 120 cedis.
Okay.
And someone saw me and was like, it's not wedding. I was like, oh, I just want to. And someone's like, hey, Martha, don't go and say you bought this suit for 120. Tell you what for 400, 500, or just say, oh, thank you and go.
Exactly.
But don't try to tell people that because, okay, I want to be humble. Or
Yeah.
nobody would ever know
Yeah.
that is
Yeah.
how much. And so until you see that suit, you will never know that
Yeah.
it is 120.
Yeah.
And I bought another dress for 200 cedis, and it doesn't even look, it's lighter.
Yeah.
It's like a suit,
Yeah.
but it's lighter. So I
Yeah.
think that it's key thing you are saying that.
So let's be so confident in yourself to be unique. Don't always wish to go with the trend. Our body shapes, our looks, our skin tones are all different. So carve out a niche for how you want to look at. I love to wear African things. I wear a lot of beads and all kinds of, and that for me appeals to me. And they don't cost too much, and I
Yeah.
can still look great. So pay attention to that. Don't be so driven by money. We also have the issue where people, even clothes, people buy 10 clothes, put it down that they will need it. One cloth alone, the price, multiply by 10. Unfortunately, by the time you want to sew it, that cloth is out of style. Then you are now looking for the latest one to buy. So we are doing things that are not helping us and still complaining that we don't have the finances. So you can still look good with what you have. Be creative, put things together, colors, mix them, see what looks good on you, accessorize. You can get very nice earrings, you can do just various things, the handbag, the shoe, and don't be so worried.
First handbags are very, let me say, good. You can get a false handbag and nobody will ever know. I think the handbag that I bought, that was a bit, the highest handbag I've ever bought is 200 cedis. And that is from Smoky World. And that's because I wanted to patronize it because of the smoke stuff. But apart from that, the highest handbag I've ever bought is 130. And it's cool.
Yeah.
It's because now they stop selling 20 cedis handbags. Because bags are not really my thing.
Yeah.
I don't, but if it's shoes, I can buy a shoe for 100 cedis for 200. I think I've not even bought it. I've never bought a shoe for 200 cedis before. There are 9 heels you can get. But people sometimes send me shoes. They bought for 300. They bought for 500. I'm like, why? And I think that is one way we can cut down our expenditure as young women, because we want to follow the trend. And I like what you mentioned about your body type. We don't have the same body type. Yeah. Most times I don't really wear fitting clothes because of my stature. I like to wear clothes that are kind of free. Okay. But people would want to, so I bought this dress from, the new trend is from Dubai.
Okay.
I bought this necklace, it's from Malaysia, it's from this. And people want to wear every accessory that comes. Yeah. Some are not even married, but the amount of rings they have on their fingers alone is more than someone's wedding ring. Yeah. What else can we do better as young women?
Yeah. So I think as young women, we should also know that you can create wealth. You are not waiting for a man to come and build wealth for you. So everything should not be consumed. No farmer eats all his seed. He keeps some, even traditionally, to be planted the next harvest. So you buy this dress to show off for a program, and then the next time you're ironing, it gets bent. Is that really an investment? Have you really managed it well? And you are so worried about what people think. They don't even remember that you wore this dress last week. Sometimes I can't even remember what I wore.
Even a previous
day. So you need to deal with your mindset and have serious goals that you want to go after. Instead of thinking that, oh, let me just go with the trend, and then one day someone will come, marry me, take care, build my house and everything for you. It may happen, but it may not happen as early as you want. No one has control over that. So if you have these things you want to achieve in life, you make sure that you live your lifestyle. And I think your uniqueness is what is attractive. You will be surprised that with all those fanciful things, you are rather not attractive to somebody. And yet in your simple state, you are attractive to somebody. So try to look elegant as yourself. the best version of yourself within your budget, within your income level. Doing that ensures that you can have other things. You need to be able to, I always say, sleep well at night. So if you start off and you manage your finances well, very soon these things are paid for. You get, when you buy a bag that is how much, you don't even blink. You know, those who earn a lot of money, they go with a black card.
Yes.
They just swipe. They don't ask how much this is. They pick the things.
I remember I went
they
to a
go.
supermarket to buy something. I think it was margarine, blue band. And they wrote that 12 cities. When I came, they checked the machine. They said it was 7 cities. I said, no, I don't agree. They should go and check. So I told them, the guy, I said, go and check. Then my friend said, it's just poverty.
Exactly.
Because-
No, it's true.
because before I pick something on the shelf, I actually calculate.
Calculate.
So whilst I'm walking, I know, okay, this is 12
Yeah.
cities. If I add
Yeah.
this to this and this,
Yeah.
I'm buying this.
Yeah.
So that when I get to the counter, I don't have to embarrass myself. So, okay, let me retain this. For them to get there and you are telling me it's 72 or 12 cities. But of course, I had the money at that moment because it's just 5 cities difference. Assuming it was now like 72,
Exactly.
how was I going to pay for it?
Exactly.
So I think that some of these things, and I think what we eat too is so there. I had to stop certain things personally.
Okay.
It came to a time that I don't know why. No matter how I eat, if I don't take tea with fried eggs in the night, I
That's
can't
right.
sleep.
Okay.
I don't know how it happened. It's like, not that I can't, but
Yeah,
I'll feel
feel
that
like-
something is missing. So I actually eat more of watching in the morning and eat like banku. I can eat jollof. I can eat very heavy in the morning, in the afternoon. But if it's like after lunch, I may not eat. But before I sleep, if I don't take bread with tea or
Yeah,
Milo, with or carb or anything, without eggs. So I realized that I was spending so much on eggs because it's just 30, and you know I have to fry 2.
That's right.
So that's like by 2 weeks time. So it's like almost every 2 weeks I was
Yeah.
buying
Create.
a crate of egg because that is even for tea. If I want to cook yam or rice, I have to do bean stew or something. So I was like, no. So I had to really psych myself and have to even play my mind that you see too much oil is not good. It's not good for your health. Before I had to now reduce it, then I had to start mixing with like sausages and even sometimes just margarine. It was even better. So I think if you are watching this, check yourself. Some of the things that you are taking that you can reduce it. In this economy, even if you can skip breakfast and eat lunch, it's possible. So
011.
Yeah, 011 or 101. You understand? So try as much as possible. Even in the evening, if you have a heavy lunch. So me when I go for workshops, I always want to pack my food. So that I know that evening, I've saved the food in my house. I'm eating the food from the workshop to save money. Let's go for a break. We'll be back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of kingdom dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle and many more.
Welcome back from the break. We are here to finally get our final tips on how we can manage our finances. It's a big issue. Sometimes, but I think genuinely some people are there. They have used all these tricks, but their expenditure is still high. So, for example, there is a story I heard about a young lady who earned 400 cedis every month. Her transportation to work alone is over 200 cedis. There are times she tried to walk halfway and take another halfway, or she tried to get lift and other things, but it's still not enough. So this kind of person, she doesn't also have any special skill. What can she do? Can she do other jobs?
Yes, Martha. So we tend to think we don't have anything, but I always say God is fair.
Okay.
And no one is there without anything. It's whether we value it or not. She may find that she has a passion and she's very good at doing something. The challenge we have with most young people is that they look down on menial things. They want big things. So, for instance, going to help a family, you see that this is a family or a couple, have small kids, very close together, the lady is very busy, and you offer that, oh, I want to come and help. When I started my career, I did a lot of helping. Offices, I would go help and all that.
Okay.
So, and you go and do that. There's no way you wouldn't have that support. But sometimes we sit and think that someone should come to us and call us and then, oh, 200, but what is 200? You're trying to get someone to sit in your shop and you're like, oh, they are sitting the whole day, you have to make sure they get paid, and still it's like, oh, this is too small. So our ability to look at, oh, how I can get small here, small there.
It's not.
It's, you know, it's not there.
I've heard some girls say that, oh, even my boyfriend can give me that amount of money, so they will prefer not to work than just leave the house.
And then it comes with its consequences too. And then when he's not around to give you, what do? You've acquired a taste for a certain lifestyle. So I would encourage whoever that is, if you realize that your income, even the job you've taken, is there a way you can keep applying, getting a job that's closer, looking at money, and then also growing in your role. So you've been called to work on one thing. Quickly learn something else. Maybe you are a secretary, and then learn to do something, add it, and then you present it to your boss. It's like, oh, value addition. Why are we keeping this person here? Let's pay extra. You go the extra mile to do other things. So when and then you talk to people, oh, I want to be able to do other things to earn income. And they say, oh, there's this opportunity here. Sometimes we keep quiet with it and we are suffering, or we think it's only money. But someone's directing you to this place is what will give you money. The person may not give you money, but will open a door for you to get the income somewhere. So there's always something. You just need to open your eyes and then be ready to start somewhere. No matter how low it may seem, be ready to start somewhere. Don't feel that, oh, I'm too big for this, because you are going towards something. And you never know when that skill will help you. Like I said, I volunteered in a certain job. I was home and I said, oh, let me come to your office and sort out your things. So I would go arrange their files and things and then go back at 12. The CEO got so impressed. He employed me as the administrator for that organization. I left the other one and paid me more, and I didn't have to move. But that was just, and many jobs I have gotten, that is how it's been. So they say, oh, can you work? I said, don't worry, I can write it up for you. And on my own time, I do that. So the person like, oh, there's this opportunity. Rita, can you do that? So great. Okay, they'll pay you this much. I say, wonderful.
And some of these things, guys, even part-time.
Yes.
Like some of these writing stuff they do. If it's a proposal or something, you do it at your convenience, you submit it. And then I remember in school, there was a time that I was having issues with my assignment. You know, this supervisors, they'll give an assignment and say, email it to me. I was having an issue with it, and I couldn't, like, what's the name of SPSS staff. Oh my goodness, HR. So I had to talk to someone. So I need to submit this because the assignment alone carries more than 50 marks before you have your exams. I called someone who came to help me. Later on, he even helped me with the formulas, and I paid him for helping me. And that is like his part-time job. So there's always something to do.
Yes.
And I even learned more because my lecturer will not stand, because they feel like we are MBA students. They won't sit and teach you like you're undergraduate. At the end of the day, the person is getting paid. I'm even learning more from the person because the person feels that I'm going to get paid. So I need to teach her to understand and help her do her assignment. But the lecturer comes and, oh, so open the slide. So you see, this is this, and get up and go and leave the class for you. So I think there's always something we can do with our talent, with something we are passionate about, or even a consulting firm. But just
observe, they are busy people, and you offering to, oh, I can come iron your clothes for you or something.
That's the issue with young people. We are not ready for that.
Okay.
We feel that I can't do this. I remember like in the studio, there was this lady that once a while comes to help clean around like gutters and stuff, and she was telling me recently that when she started, she's quite like elderly, but I met her, so I started helping her kids with books and petty stuff. Then she was like, if I have anything. So when I moved in here, she said I can. She was telling me recently that people were like, how can she be cleaning for this small girl?
Yeah.
And she would come to my house
Yeah.
and she helped me clean and
Yeah.
until she started coming, and anytime she's going, I give her souvenirs, I
Exactly.
give her gifts, even when some of the clothes we take for donations.
Yeah.
So anytime the clothes come, I'll call her,
Exactly.
she'll come and help me like unpack, sort all the clothes, I rearrange them. Once she's sorting, she's also taking some for
By all
herself.
means.
Then she will go and do announce that she should like give them some. So one day I was there, she came with some of them, and then she was not telling that, you see this lady, she was the one saying that she didn't come. She was the one who won, so I was like, okay, fine. So I put her on monthly salary, and she was telling that the woman asked her that what's the name? Do I need an extra cleaner?
Oh.
So that she will come and I said,
No.
no, I don't need. But she began like helping me
Yes.
around like once or twice a week. She will come,
Yes.
and anytime we had a recording, she will come and clean the whole studio.
Wow.
And that was just her help. It became like an appreciation
Yeah.
because I was helping her kids. But because later when I felt that, oh, the place was so big, I needed a cleaner, I just pushed her in.
Yeah.
And she was telling me that she was happy that she didn't listen to them because they don't actually have a job. They just do whatever they can do. But now she knows at the end of the month, she's getting
gets
something
something.
coming from here.
Yeah.
So that is our problem
Yeah.
as young people. We feel. So I was telling her that there are some places whereby I wouldn't even employ her directly. She would have to go through an agency
Yeah.
who will train her. And when you go to their house, you will say, this is a small girl. You are there to be paid. So I said, like a doctor. A doctor doesn't go to the hospital and say, how can I be treating a small girl? It's your money you are looking for. So that's our problem as young people. We do not want to do certain jobs. We do not want to save. So you meet people, I meet young people that I want to in a way help them, but of course I also want some kind of help. But I know
Exactly.
that maybe by God's grace I'm a bit privileged in a certain way. But I need to see your loyalty and your commitment before I open up to you. And they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't. They want to just
don't.
come to you are paying
Yeah.
them. But it doesn't happen that way. So
Yeah.
that's also our biggest
Yeah.
problem as young people. That we are not getting enough money.
Yeah.
We don't like volunteerism. People would want to come. Oh, my thanks, Foundation. I want to work with you. I want to volunteer. They can't
Learn
want
from
to.
you. I want to become like you in
Yes,
future.
that thing. I want to become like you in future.
In future, and
I've
that
heard
is
it.
it. But the work, an opportunity comes in a package we call work. So you never know where that is going to lead
That's
you.
true.
And that skill that you learn can never be taken away from you. So there's always
They
something.
forget the sleepless nights
Oh, they don't see that one.
where you don't sleep, where you have to wake up, write proposals.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to go there. Give us your final words.
So I want to encourage everybody that your financial life is in your hands, and you have the power and the ability to create the life and the dream that you want. You just have to start, be intentional. And these steps, don't be overwhelmed by them. It's just take one at a time, keep practicing it, develop the habit. And remember, your life is not a dress rehearsal. This is it. So live the best version of your life that you have to.
Live the best version of your life. Don't copy your friends. If you have to even cut down, now it's even a trend. If you have to cut down your hair
For a season, yeah.
for a season so you can save. The last time I went to buy mesh, I had to buy 140 cedis. I was buying and I was crying. And I was like, who sent me? And when you use that hair,
Yeah.
that's all.
That's
That's
it.
just
You
like
can't use
one
it
hair.
again.
And within a month, you have to pull it out. Minus the amount you're going to use to go and braid. Me, I'm lucky that sometimes I get people to braid for me for free. But even with that, you can't always just get up and leave. You have to tip them something. That's mesh. Now mesh is going high. I hardly retouch because of that. I've also cut down something. I hardly retouch my hair. I leave my hair for some time. Some 6 months, we are going to retouch one so that I can use my cream for a long. So you can find some things that you can cut off. No matter how little, like you mentioned, if it's the light, sometimes I do that. I have to put off my AC. I'm feeling warm. I have to get up and open my windows because I need to manage my light. Sometimes if I have to microwave something, I know I leave it. I remove the chicken from the fridge in the night, so that by morning it has to put in the microwave for 5 minutes. That's another light going. So there is always something you can cut off. And for water bill, it's a bit better. But light bill, VRA, Netco, Gridco, I don't know which of you is doing this. I'm just mentioning all of you. Please, I beg you. I'm spending so much on light these days, just for production, just for petty things. Abba, I'm buying 500 cedis at least every month on electricity. Ghana, I know it's a water company, no. Ghana light company. yes, please, we are begging. It's not just me, but these things, people,
there are so many taxes on it.
Everybody is complaining. You go buy lights, like you don't even know what to use the light for. So if you want us to cut down our expenses, governments, Ghana, our president, Minister of Energy, Minister of all those in charge, this is an appeal. We are begging you, cut down some of your expenses, some of the cars you buy fuel inside and be traveling for long distances. Please cut them down so that we can be able to get like enough money. It's too much. It's too much. And we believe that as our leaders, if you're able to do this for us, even the things we buy, the production cost of some of the drinks and the food we buy in the market can go down, because they're also putting all the production costs for us to pay. So please, we beg you. We know you can afford it. That's why you don't have a problem. But we can't afford it. That's 500 cedis is practically somebody's monthly salary. And you just go use it on light. And what happens?
And you are not even getting all worth, because there are deductions if you look.
Yes, there
are all these taxes that go in,
so. Yes. And these days, no matter how you cut down using light, it's like it's still even it's like fridge even consumes now. At first, I was told fridge doesn't consume, but I'm surprised that now the fridge is consuming. Please, we beg. Gas, I don't want to go there. Thank you very much for watching. Let's all do well to manage our finances, no matter how we can. I know stuff is difficult because the government have a role to play, but in our little way, let's do that. And my ladies, for our weddings, please, let's cut down on some of the expenditure we put on our spouses and the family and all of that. Your friend is not you. You don't need a big wedding. You don't need 1,000 people in your wedding to show that it's a big wedding. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with thoughts. Hello and welcome to Thoughts from Martha and Spice. Today I want to plead with all of us as young people. I know it's hard. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. And you know what happens or what is happening? Money always leaves our hands. But money doesn't come in like that. You spend more. Sometimes I'm like, why? It's like I can't even explain. It's like I spend more than I get. Because by the time the month runs over, you need to pay allowances. You need to pay. Look, as an entrepreneur, it's even tough. When the month is ending, everybody is laughing. It's only you who is crying. Because you have to pay your water bill, your light bill, you have to pay staff, you have to pay allowance, you have to pay everyone. Whether it's salary or allowances, money is going out. At least people are working for you, they are supporting you. You need to give them something. I want to beg you, no matter how you can, reduce some of the things that you buy. As young women, whatever dress you are wearing, you will still look good in them. You don't have to buy a dress worth 1,000 cedis to look good. Bend Down Boutique. If you were in Tamale, look for me. I'll show you a very nice place. You can get very nice clothes at affordable prices. And nobody would know. You don't need, I can't remember the last time I even went to a boutique. I buy most of my things from thrift. People post it on their WhatsApp and I say, oh, I like this, and they bring it for me. And I buy, or sometimes those who even go to Togo or stuff. It doesn't mean that you are worthless. It just means that you are cutting your coat according to your size. It means that at this point in your life, that is what you can afford. Look, if you can't take care, if you don't have money to maintain a car, don't get a car. It's very expensive to manage a car, even a motorbike. There are times that your motorbike gets spoiled. You're going to repair, you have to spend about 100 or 200 just to repair the motor, and you don't have that cash. Every week, we have to spend over 50 cedis on motor fuel, or 50 cedis. So in a month, you are spending, like, say, 300 cedis max. Imagine a car. Imagine where you are living, in Accra, in Tamale. How much would you spend on fuel? How much are you earning? Your family. So I beg you, don't overspend what you cannot afford or what you don't earn. When we do this, we will reduce the peer pressure. Thank you for watching. Do have a good night.